then, Hayden?
Today we are heading to the Dorchester, the ancient capital of Dorset, where on the 3rd of July 1645 General Fairfax and his troops were stationed, and a body of clubmen were on the way to meet him.
So this is St Peter's Church in the middle of Dorchester. Hayden's just having a little look up there. So what do you think? Is it alright to film there?
It's a good spot to me.
Okay,
Good.
alright.
Let's do it.
Going.
Well, we're here in Dorchester, and this is where General Fairfax met the clubmen on the 3rd of July. Now, to my left is St Peter's Church, and behind me is the Corn Exchange. And what I want to do is just refer to my notes generally as I speak to you, just to get the gist of what happened here in that day. Now, Colonel Sidman, the Governor of Weymouth, spoke to Fairfax on that day. It was a very hot day, and he warned them about the strength of the clubmen in the Dorset area. He said you should see fit to talk to the clubmen. So General Fairfax did take his advice and did converse with the clubmen and met with him here on that day. The clubmen and met Fairfax, and what they wanted was safe passage. They wanted safe passage to the King and Parliament with their demands. Basically, they wanted both the sides in the Civil War to talk to one another. But with Fairfax, they were asking for safe passage to the King and Parliament. And Fairfax promised they should have an answer the next morning to their demands for safe conduct for certain persons to go to the King and with Parliament with their petitions. Seeing their strength at that time, it was held a point of prudence to be fair in demeanour towards them. Fairfax had in mind, he was fearing Goring at this time, because he was after Goring, and he was fearing if he came back this way, the clubmen would be waiting for him. So he should engage with General Goring the Royalist, as was his intention, and he'd be put to the worst on this retreat, because these clubmen would knock them on their heads and they should fly for their safety. Now, there's a couple of points I want to make about the petitions that were handed in, because the one that was handed in here, which is in common with a lot of petitions, is that no man should know soldiery alone, which is interesting in itself. It sort of like says you must be part of the community, you must know a trade, you can't just be in the army. And the other point was like any man either side, the King's army or the Parliament army, should have his right to lay down his arms and just go back to where his hometown, his home county, and live as he feels free to live, his liberties, as they always say, which is a powerful point because it shows a sense of community, and they feared like men would be disconnected by just knowing soldiery alone. We're in Dorchester, we're in St Peter's Church, but I just want to sneak in here and just show you this, because this is Denzil Hollis. Now, Denzil Hollis was the man that held down the Speaker in the chair when Charles I went into Parliament and tried to dissolve Parliament, and Denzil Hollis was the guy who held the Speaker in the chair. So he's a man of note, and also later on he went on to start the peace movement between Parliament and the monarchy. The Dorchester Archive Centre, and I spent a lot of time here researching the clubmen on and off, but what I wanted to tell you today was like, instead of being behind paywalls, which is the bane of my life, there's a few things you can download from Google Books, and one of them is the humble petition of the inhabitants of the county of Dorset, which is well worth downloading. And the other one is let's get it around the right way, is the Declaration of the County of Dorset, and that's 1648. So these two things you can download from Google Books. Well, you can this one at the moment. I'm not sure. I think this one might be taken offline again, but they're well worth downloading where you can. And that's all I wanted to say, really.
Are we going to go inside?
We are. We're going to go inside and do a bit of squatting.
Okay. Nice.
Swatting?
No, swatting.
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 Not squatting. Well, we could squat.
We could squat while we're swatting. You're uncomfortable.
Yeah. Just been in the Dorchester Archives this afternoon. You tell I'm from Dorset. And then we found Gorehedge Corner. where it is, where the Desires and Resolutions was
Written.
That's it. But we're
You're
not
so
going to tell you where it
excited.
is.
You're so excited you can't speak
because
properly.
it's because we'll keep it a secret, and we'll make that into another film at some stage. But it's really exciting to find that place, and it is in Gussage All Saints.